To these high-peaked dominions sealed to our search, too far from surface nature's postal routes, too lofty for our mortal lives to breathe, deep in us a forgotten kinship points, and a faint voice of ecstasy and prayer calls to those lucent lost immensities. Even when we fail to look into our souls, our lie embedded in earthly consciousness.
Or lie
Oh,
embedded.
or even when we fail to look into our souls or lie embedded in earthly consciousness, still have we paths that grow towards the light. Yet,
What I see here, what I hear from you is, and I have to be very critical
please,
because that's the only way we can grow.
yes,
I hear you reading words.
okay,
I don't feel the mantra coming to me.
okay,
So there are moments when a word is a little more intense, a little softer. That was my idea of the story.
okay.
So you have to talk to me about these high peak dominions that are sealed to our search. What about them? And they're too far from surface nature's postal routes. A little humor here. Surface nature's postal routes. Too lofty for our mortal lives to bear, to breathe. So you begin again.
To these high-peaked dominions sealed to our search, too far from surface nature's postal routes.
Yes, but it's too far. Not too far from surface nature's postal routes. No, it's too far from those routes.
Okay.
Too far.
Too far from surface nature's postal routes. Too lofty for our mortal lives to breathe.
Good.
Deep in us, a forgotten kinship points, and a faint voice of ecstasy and prayer calls to those lucent lost immensities.
Period. Now, voice, you have to work on the V sound.
Voice.
Voice, yeah.
Voice.
Good. Carry on.
Even when we fail to look into our souls or lie embedded in earthly consciousness,
The souls should be the more important emphasis here.
okay.
Even when we fail to look into our souls.
Even when we fail to look into our souls
Yes.
or lie embedded in earthly consciousness, still have we paths to
Still have we parts. Still have we parts.
Still have we paths that grow towards the light. Yet there are luminous tracks and heavens serene.
Yet are there.
Yet are there.
Yet are there luminous tracks and heavens serene, and Eldorados of splendor and ecstasy. Okay, still have
we paths that grow towards the light, yet are there luminous tracks and heavens serene, and Eldorados of splendor and ecstasy.
Okay, now we have to pronounce our D's in and.
Okay.
And
Eldorados splendor and ecstasy.
Good girl.
And temples to the Godhead none can see.
Yes.
A shapeless memory lingers in us still, and sometimes
make that more important to me. What is he saying here? That there is a memory that lingers in us, that still lingers in us, and it's shapeless. But Sometimes, when we turn our sight within, the ignorant veil of earth is lifted from our eyes. Now I'm making it prose so you get the feeling of the poetry. A shapeless memory.
A shapeless memory lingers in us still.
But a shapeless memory lingers in us still. It's still there. It hangs around. It's still in there. It lingers. He uses the word lingers. So such a fantastic word, because he's not saying that it's alive in us, it's awake in us. No, he's not even saying it's asleep in us. He says it lingers in us.
A shapeless memory lingers in us still. And sometimes when our sight is turned within, earth's ignorant veil is lifted from our eyes.
Veil.
Okay.
Can you make this sound? Put your top teeth against your lower lip. There it is.
Veil.
Good girl.
Veil.
Good.
Earth's ignorant veil is lifted from our eyes. There is a short, miraculous escape.
Okay, but what did he say then now? Let's go through those words. After the period, after C, he's telling us that this memory that is shapeless, has no shape. It still lingers in us. But sometimes when we turn our sight within, the ignorant veil of earth is lifted from our eyes, semicolon. There is not there, but there is a short, miraculous escape, period. We have to pay very close attention to punctuation also. Okay, so now, a shapeless memory.
A shapeless memory lingers in us still. And sometimes...
I think you're going too quickly over the word lingers.
Okay.
A shapeless memory lingers in us still.
A shapeless memory lingers in us still. And sometimes when our sight is turned within, earth's ignorant veil is lifted from our eyes. There is a short, miraculous escape.
There is a short, miraculous
escape.
Good.
A shapeless memory lingers in us still. And
can I have even more? Not emphasis so much, but intensity in the word lingers.
Okay. A shapeless memory lingers in us still. And sometimes...
A shapeless memory lingers in us. It's lingering in us. Still.
A shapeless memory lingers in us still. And sometimes when our sight is turned within, earth's ignorant veil is lifted from our eyes. There is a short, miraculous escape.
And now he's going to tell us something different. That was a period. And he's talking to us about our fringe, the fringe of a dress, the fringe of a shirt.
Yeah.
This narrow fringe of clamped experience, which is our life. And we leave behind, meted to us as life, given to us as life. This narrow fringe of clamped experience we leave behind, meted to us as life. our little walks, our insufficient reach, period. Then he goes with a different theme. So let's do those lines first. This
This
narrow,
narrow fringe of clamped experience we leave behind meted to us as life.
no, we
Our
leave behind. We
we
leave.
leave behind meted to
Yes,
us.
yes, you got it. We leave behind meted to us as life.
This narrow fringe of clamped experience we leave
Clamped,
behind clamped
clamped.
clamped.
Yes.
This narrow fringe of clamped experience we leave behind meted to us as life, our little walks, our insufficient reach.
So now he says from where we started today that there's a kinship in us
Hmm.
that points. What does it point to? Well,
Towards
its
the
great
light.
voice, it calls to those lucent lost immensities. Even when we fail to look into our souls
Hmm.
or lie embedded in earthly consciousness, still we have parts that are growing towards the light. Yet are there luminous tracks. Now he's telling us what there are. There are luminous tracks and serene heavens and Eldorados. Eldorados is the place where they always found gold.
Hmm.
Eldorados mean gold in a way.
Okay.
Of splendor and ecstasy and temples to the Godhead none can see. So he said, this is what he's telling us is still there, that we
Hmm.
haven't reached. But then
Hmm.
he begins a different feeling. A shapeless memory still lingers in us. And sometimes when we turn our sight within, the ignorant veil of earth is lifted from our eyes. And there is a short, miraculous escape. He doesn't say it's a long escape. He
Hmm.
doesn't say it's lasting. He says it's a short escape because it only happens when we turn our sight within.
Hmm.
And then this fringe of experience that is so clamped, we leave it behind that was given to us as life, such as our little walks and our insufficient reach. Then he continues on. So let's begin again from to these high peaked dominions
Okay.
on the previous page. And
Okay.
tell me this beautiful story that he's unfolding for us.
Okay.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
To these high-peaked dominions sealed to our search, too far from surface nature's postal routes, too lofty for our mortal lives to breathe, deep in us a forgotten kinship points, and a faint voice of ecstasy and prayer calls to those lucent lost immensities. Even when we fail to look into our souls or lie embedded in earthly consciousness, still have we paths that grow towards the light. Yet are there luminous tracks and heavens serene and Eldorados of splendor and ecstasy, and temples to the Godhead none can see. A shapeless memory lingers in us still, and sometimes when our sight is turned within, earth's ignorant veil is lifted from our eyes. There is a short, miraculous escape.
So it was quite good. There are certain pronunciations that could be a little better.
Okay.
And you missed the AND and
And
But you got veil. You got veil.
Okay.
And you got it very well. Luminous.
Luminous. Luminous.
No, luminous. You see, it ends with the O-U-S. Luminous.
Luminous.
Not luminous. Luminous.
Luminous.
Luminous. Yeah, you got it.
Luminous.
Luminous.
Luminous. Luminous.
So each word in, at least in most of Savitri, that Sri Aurobindo corrected. And he actually corrected book 1, 5 cantos. He proofread them.
Okay.
So we know that every word is the correct word in every line, in every phrase. As you go deeper and deeper, and I saw you close your eyes before you began, this is very important. Very important. Because what we truly want to do is to ask him to read through this physical body. That feeling of intense joy, love, offering has to be in every line of Savitri.
I will keep trying. Definitely, I will keep trying. This narrow fringe of clamped experience we leave behind meted to us as life.
Yeah, but see, it almost has to be a little hesitation between behind and meted, because he's saying we're
leaving behind
this thing that has been given to us as life. This narrow fringe.
This narrow fringe of clamped experience.
No, there was one.
Clamped.
I missed that one. Clamped.
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 You have to pronounce the D, yeah.
Clamped.
And the P, clamped.
Clamped.
You got it. Yeah, it's the P has to be heard. Clamped.
Okay. Clamped.
Good.
This narrow fringe of clamped experience we leave behind meted to us as life.
Yes, but you didn't, you read the words. You didn't tell me.
The story. Okay.
We leave behind.
We leave behind meted to us as life.
Yes, yes, yes.
Our little walks, our insufficient reach. Our souls can visit in great lonely hours, still regions of imperishable light.
But still is very important here. It's still regions.
Still regions.
Still regions, but still regions.
Still regions, okay. Our souls can visit in great lonely hours, still regions of imperishable light, all seeing eagle peaks of silent power and moon flame oceans of swift, fathomless bliss, and the calm immensities of spirit space.
So, can you do that again? I need a couple of things. Our souls can visit.
Our souls can visit in great lonely hours, still regions of perishable light.
Imperishable light.
Imperishable light.
Still region. What he's telling us here, that in these great lonely hours, when our sight is turned within, 3 lines from the top, we can visit in those great lonely hours these still regions of imperishable light, all-seeing eagle peaks of silent power and moon flame oceans of swift, you missed swift, fathomless bliss. Okay, let's start again from a shapeless memory.
Shapeless memory.
Yeah, because that carries through the whole thought here.
Okay. A shapeless memory lingers in us still, and sometimes, whenever sight is turned within, earth's ignorant veil is lifted from our eyes. There is a short, miraculous escape. This narrow fringe of clamped experience,
No, clamped.
clamped, this narrow fringe of clamped experience
Good.
we leave behind meted to us as life, our little walks, our insufficient reach. Our souls can visit in great lonely hours, still regions of imperishable light,
Still regions.
still regions of imperishable light,
Good.
all seeing eagle peaks of silent power and moonflame oceans of swift, fathomless bliss and calm immensities of spirit space.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Power. I sort of get power. Power. No.
Power.
Power.
Power. Power.
Good. Is this helpful for you?
Yes.
To go through Savitri like this?
Because
I wouldn't want it to be boring for you.
No, it is not. It is not. It is definitely not boring. I can like I feel like it is I'm starting to understand it. Like this paragraph when I read it, I understood the connection from before without you telling me. Like, I could see that he's talking about going within. So this is like from our Canto 4 until now, like this was the first time I saw, he's connecting to the previous line and speaking from there.
Yes.
So this glimpse I just got. So I mean, it's definitely helping in the sense I still don't know to name it how, but I definitely am testing your patience, but definitely also testing my patience.
This is always a blessing for me to read Savitri. It's always a blessing, and especially with you and with Nilisha and Alina and so many people who want to go more deeply into the beauty and the force that is in Savitri. Because it's not in any other book. Shelley's poem, you see, has great beauty in it. A violet hidden by a mossy stone. No, a violet by a mossy stone, half hidden from the eye. A star when only one is shining in the sky. It's beautiful poetry. But it's not overhead poetry. It's not mantric poetry. It's Shelley. And Sri Aurobindo Shelley said that Shelley had no feeling of the overhead, but the most beautiful psychic poetry of all poets. So I would like you to begin to read some other poetry.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, how can I prepare myself for the class better? Like, when I come to read with you, I would like to be a little more, like, how can I better myself in this way of reading? So, last week after our class, I practiced with some of the YouTube videos of will and woe and what. This I practiced a little bit.
Good.
But what more can I do? You saying poetry, this is good. I will read more poetry.
I would read some of the sonnets of Shakespeare.
Okay. I was also reading this week collected poems of Sri Aurobindo. I read the Rishi. I read the Bluebird.
Yeah, these are beautiful sonnets. Beautiful sonnets.
Yeah.
And they contain so much in them, but they don't they are not up to the mark of Savitri.
Okay. Sonnets of
Nothing
Shakespeare,
comes
you
from
said.
Savitri. Mother says that all of Sri Aurobindo's books
Yeah.
are only preparation, but Savitri is the real thing.
Okay.
So that's how high she places it.
Okay. Okay. So you told me to read Sonnets of Shakespeare. This I will do. And I will also look up for a little more pronunciations, like based on the words we have done so far, like luminous, and clamped. Those kind of words, I'll do a little more pronunciation.
Yes. And do you have my book, The Lexicon of the...
No, but I'm sure I can find that on your website.
I think it's there already.
Yeah.
It will give you all the definitions of the words
Okay.
that you won't have to look up constantly.
Okay.
Now, you can go to YouTube.
Okay.
Not YouTube. It'll be often in YouTube, but it's the easier way to go when you want to learn the pronunciation of a word. Just go to Chrome or Firefox.
Yeah.
And type in pronounce.
Yeah. Yeah.
In British English.
English. Okay.
Because
so,
my English is American English.
English. Okay.
Which is tempting to be a little more British to Bridget. Mother once says perhaps American English will be a way, even though it's not nearly there yet.
Okay.
British English is a little bit stilted at times.
Okay.
But you have to remember that it was Sri Aurobindo's language for 25 years.
Yes.
In England.
Yes.
So we do have to. Now, you can also go on our website, and this would be a very interesting experience for you. If you can write down some of the people I've had read Savitri.
Okay.
One is Rashmi Bhatt, Bhatt.
Okay.
Rashmi Bhatt.
Okay.
Another one is Angad, Angat.
Okay, Angad.
A-D, Angad.
Yeah.
Another one is Hamish, Hamish.
Hamish. Hamish.
Hamish, yes. And if you can find, yes, I think we've just done some of Jumur, but she's reading the sonnets. She's not reading Savitri, but that's good. Jhumur.
Yeah. Jumur, I am already starting to put a playlist in my YouTube also, because I was there once you recorded with her. So some of them I found and I've already made a small playlist for that. But the others I will look.
Good. Very good.
And also I'm happy some of the things that you're saying I am already doing. One is reading other poems which I started, so I feel I am actually being guided. And second one is the pronunciation. You said I was again doing the pronunciation like woman and women and those kind of things. I was really looking at the I was actually listening to the Indian pronunciation as well as the British pronunciation, because to know what mistake we are making.
Good. Very good. Okay. And your V is so critical. V,
yeah.
Woman is easier for Indian voices. V is more difficult.
V, yeah.
V. Top, upper teeth on bottom lip. Va. Can you do this? You got it.
Yeah.
Well, you're very sincere, and that's why I'm happy to work with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, I feel also a little bit sad to be reading the same thing over and over, but I'm really touched by your patience, and I just feel honored.
Can read 20 times over, and each time, if you are sincere and go deeply, you will find more and more in it.
Okay.
But don't try to use the mind.
Okay.
Let it go straight into the soul, and it will reveal itself automatically.
Okay.
I'm just helping a little bit in a small way.
Okay.
The divine will give you a much, much deeper understanding.
Thank you, and I'm really happy it's coming also through you. Like I just feel happy. And I wanted to also ask one more thing, like when we are reading, how is it that I can make the markings? Like like now you said still regions, so I can maybe bracket the still regions so that I understand there is a connection there. Still
Yes.
regions.
Yeah, they're still regions. They're not.
Yeah.
They're
Still.
regions that are still.
Still. Yeah. Yeah.
But this imperishable light is occurring in these still regions.
Regions. Yeah. So my question is, how do I make these associations on the book? Like I can maybe put like small dots and markings or something
Yeah,
like.
I had this Russian girl that I worked with for 4 months, I think, to read one question and answer book because her English was almost impossible.
Okay.
And she would make markings all over her book.
Okay.
And you can do that.
Okay.
You can make a mark where you feel there should be an accent.
Okay.
You can make a line if you feel that it should be a little more intense a word.
Yeah.
You can make a straight line when you feel there should be the slightest pause.
Okay.
As in, we leave behind meted to us as life.
Okay.
You can do things, you do them as you feel.
Okay. Okay.
And there will be your symbols for each of these different things: long, short, slow, stop, pause.
Okay. So I think maybe it will evolve as I start working with it and it will come to me.
I have no doubt.
Yeah. Okay, so I was thinking then maybe next class, like we can read again from the top of Canto 4, because I would like to make those markings and make sure that I have really got it in my heart and not in my mind to read it.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Namaste.
Thank you so much. I see you soon. Take care.